someone loved you every single day, you would probably call it a healthy relationship. So, why is it that so many people become obsessed with someone who only loves them sometime? Why do we spend months and even years chasing the person who ignores us, yet slowly losing interest in the person who treats us well? That doesn't make sense, right? Unless you understand one thing. Your brain doesn't just respond to rewards, it responds even more powerfully to unpredictable rewards, and that's exactly how casinos making billions of dollars. The terrifying part? Some relationships accidentally using the very same psychological system. Stay until the end because I'm going to show you the one question that instantly reveals whether you are in love with the person or addicted to the possibility of them. Meet Jake. When he first met Lily, everything felt effortless. They talked for hours. She couldn't wait to see him. Every message felt exciting. Then, something changed. Some weeks, she was affectionate, playful, completely invested. Other weeks, she disappeared. One word replies, cancelled plans. Hours become days, days become silence. Jake told himself she was just busy. Then suddenly, she come back, apologize, be incredibly loving for a weekend to make him believe everything was okay again. Then the cycle repeated. 6 months later, Jade wasn't asking why she disappeared anymore. He was asking, how do I get the good version of her back? Without realizing it, his brain had already become hooked. Let's play a simple game. Imagine I offer you a $10 every single day. No surprises, just $10. Now imagine someone else offering you a mystery box. 9 days, it's empty. On the 10th day, there is $100 inside. Which one would occupy more of your thoughts? Probably the mystery box. Not because it pays more consistently, because you never know when the reward is coming. That uncertainty captures attention, and attention is incredibly powerful. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's one of the strongest learning systems ever discovered. When rewards happen randomly, the brain releases more dopamine than when rewards are predictable. Here's the important part. Dopamine isn't the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of pursuit, of anticipation, of maybe this time. That's why people keep pulling slot machine levers. Not because they enjoy losing, because every lose makes the next win feels possible. Now replace the slot machine with the relationship. Jake never knew which version of Lily he was going to get. The affectionate Lily or the distant one. Every notification on his phones became a possibility. Every vibration triggered hope. Every silence created anxiety. His nervous system was trapped in a cycle of uncertainty, and uncertainty is incredibly addictive. Here is something fascinating. If Lily had ignored him all the time, Jake probably would have walked away. If she had loved him consistently, he would have felt secure. Instead, she gave him affection just often enough to keep him emotionally invested. Think about that. The relationship wasn't surviving because of consistency. It was surviving because of unpredictability. Our brains are wired to notice scarce things. Food, resources, opportunities, attention. If something becomes rare, the mind automatically treats it as valuable. That's useful when you are searching for water in the desert. It's far less useful when you are searching for love. Because inconsistent affection starts feeling more precious. Simply because it's inconsistent, not because it's healthier. Jake began changing his behavior. He replied faster, analyzed every conversation, read old text messages, wonder what he had done wrong. His entire world slowly revolved around one goal, getting another emotional hit. Notice what happened. He wasn't enjoying the relationship anymore. He was chasing the next reward. That's addiction, not intimacy. Imagine a person standing in the desert. For a few hours, someone gives them one sip of water. That sip feels incredible. Not because it's enough, because they are dehydrated. The same thing happens emotionally. When affections become rare, every tiny act of kindness feels anonymous. A hug, compliment, morning text, things that should be normal start feeling extraordinary. Not because they have become more meaningful, because emotional deprivation has lowered your expectations. One evening, Jake realized his happiest moment weren't when he was actually with Lily. They were the moments right before seeing her, waiting for the text, driving to meet her, wondering if today would be different. His brain wasn't addicted to the relationship, he was addicted to the anticipation. That changes everything. Now ask yourself something. Have you ever refreshed your phone knowing there probably wasn't a message, but checking anyway? That is not irrational, that is conditioning. Every once in a while, there was a message. Your brain learned that checking sometimes pays off. Relationships work exactly the same way. One affectionate weekend can erase weeks of loneliness. Not because the pain disappeared, because hope temporarily becomes stronger than memory. Another dangerous effect appears over time. You stop expecting healthy love. You start celebrating the bare minimum. He texted first today. He remembered my birthday. He apologized. Imagine congratulating a restaurant because they served edible food. Many people live extremely this way. Scarcity lowers standards, and lower standards keep unhealthy relationships alive. Jake's friend couldn't understand. Just leave. To them, the relationship looked obvious, but they weren't expecting the dopamine cycle. That's why addiction is so difficult for outsiders to understand. Whether it's gambling, social media, or inconsistent affection, the hook isn't logic, it's reinforcement. And reinforcement rewires behavior. Remember the question I promised at the beginning? Here it is. Ask yourself this. Do I miss this person? Or do I miss the moments when they finally choose me? Those are very different experiences. Missing a person comes from connection. Missing the occasional reward comes from conditioning. Jake finally understood something that changed everything. He had mistaken relief for love. Every time Lily came back, the anxiety disappeared. His brain interpreted that relief as intense affection. But relief isn't love. It's simply the end of emotional withdrawal. Healthy relationships don't leave you wondering when the next good moment will arrive. They don't make kindness feel like winning the lottery. They don't train you to celebrate consistency, because consistency is already there. The strongest relationships often feel less exciting, not because they are missing passion, because they are missing unpredictability. Your nervous system isn't constantly waiting for the next emotional payoff. It's finally allowed to rest. Maybe that's why so many people mistake chaos for chemistry. They are not falling in love with instability. They are becoming addicted to uncertainty. But here's the beautiful truth. Real love doesn't ask your brain to gamble. It doesn't make you earn affection through patience. It doesn't reward you just often enough to keep you hoping. Real love isn't a jackpot, it's a home. A place where you stop pulling the lever because you already know you are safe.